Hey everybody, welcome to episode 60 of the Return Policy, and today I'm doing a mini review on the Hori produced Split Pad Pro Daemon X Machina Edition kind of giant Joy-Cons for your Nintendo Switch. So it was during E3 of 2019 when I saw the announcement for these giant Joy-Cons, these Joy-Cons were announced that I immediately caught on to that gimmick and I wanted to immediately pre-order this accessory. I was kind of excited just that they would go all out and go more towards the comfort rather than the form that'll help, everybody use a traditional D-pad, a larger button size, but everything that'll be more comfortable for the player in Joy-Con form. And so when I saw these go up for pre-order, I immediately jumped on it and I thought I would give a mini review for everyone today. With the Split Pad Pro, I really approached this with not that much, expectations. I saw the gimmick in it that it wanted to make one of the most comfortable and kind of accommodating set of Joy-Cons that Hori, that produced it, can make for the Nintendo Switch. They've already made the other accessory that I believe it was for the left Joy-Con and allowed it for the D-pad. It wasn't that great. I think I even did a review on that at one point. But I went and approached this accessory with a little bit of kind of excitedness that I wanted to see just how far they can go with this kind of just ginormous type of design. And to be honest, they did not disappoint. I really did enjoy using this one, and because it was so much larger and I do have those ginormous hands, it was very easy and comfortable to use. I really did like the kind of larger shoulder buttons as opposed to the traditional Joy-Cons, especially if you play it mostly in portable mode. And I know people use the Nintendo Switch Pro controller more often, but if you wanted to go portable mode, I really did like this kind of more than accommodating larger surface area for the ZR and the ZL buttons that they use on this. And also I did really like the actual thumbsticks as well. They had a much more wider range as opposed to kind of like the kind of shorter thumbsticks that are on the Joy-Cons themselves. So the range of travel is really good on these. And last but not least, well, actually I do have a few other things, but I did want to talk mostly about the buttons. The face buttons are great. They do have a satisfying click to it. They have a much larger surface area than the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons themselves. And I do like they kind of added the extra programmable buttons to the back of each of these Joy-Cons. So it's kind of a third shoulder button that you would essentially use your middle finger to tap. Now granted, you can only use the left trigger button, or that third trigger button, for anything that's on the left Joy-Con, and vice versa on the right. So if you want your jumping button or a particular attack button on your right side Joy-Con, unfortunately it does not allow you to map it onto the left kind of middle finger trigger. But certain games do let you map particular buttons that are usually on the right side to the left side, and so then you can map that to that third trigger. So the game that I was testing this primarily on was mostly with Daemon X Machina, and since you can customize your controller layout as you see fit, and then you can map any of those buttons to those middle finger buttons, then it was a piece of cake. And so I didn't stop there, not just with Daemon X Machina. I wanted to play with other games as well too, because it had a turbo function and it had a really good D-pad. And so the first two I tried it was something from the SNES Classics, which was, I think it was Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, either or. But I used that game and activated the turbo button and worked like a charm. No complaints. I still died a whole lot and I'm still terrible at that game, but I did like the added advantage of using that turbo button. The other game I tried was with Street Fighter, because I really do love fighting games and I grew up on the Super Nintendo D-pad playing with fighting games, and this also did not disappoint. So I wanted to give a shout out to how good that the D-pad felt, the travel. And so I really did enjoy using this even for fighting games as well too. So it's not just for the Daemon X Machina game. It works really great among a wide range of titles. But the biggest caveat is the price tag itself. So even though you are getting two of the Joy-Cons at a lesser price of the traditional Joy-Cons, this one goes for $49 US. It is quite a bit of a investment, because not only does it not have any battery life, so you have to play it only in portable mode. It does not work externally. There's also no rumble or motion controls with these, so it is asking for quite the price tag of $49 US, $50 US in order to get a decent and very comfortable feeling controllers. So all in all, I can't stress the fact anymore of how much I enjoyed using the Split Pad Pro with my Nintendo Switch. And since I have, kind of ginormous hands, that this kind of form factor was very, very, very comfortable to use. And not only were the actual analog sticks nice and pretty big as well too, but I really did enjoy the much larger button layout of these as opposed to the traditional Joy-Cons. But the Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch is still pretty large, but I did like having this when I was going through portable mode, especially playing through Daemon X Machina, fighting games, anything that would even use a good portion of the turbo functionality as well too. So I really did enjoy using this. Granted, the price tag is pretty hefty at $49.99 US, but I really did like using this. If this fits that specific niche of wanting to have a larger controller and aesthetics, be darned. Since this will essentially make your console pretty wide, it's pretty large when both of them are combined. Granted, I'm already used to that because I use the Satisfy grip case already, so this wasn't that big of a stretch, pun intended, of using a larger kind of a footprint for the console. But with that in mind, both of the price tag, but the functionality and the ease of use, but you are only stuck to portable mode since this doesn't have any charging aspect. It is a very tough call, but if I had to make the ultimate decision for myself and everything else, I would probably say this one would be a return it. Anyways, that's it for me for this episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this little mini review of mine for the not so mini Split Pad Pro for your Nintendo Switch. If you thought if any of this was informative or kind of useful making that purchase decision, please feel free to go ahead and hit that like button. If you thought, why would I only use something that would tie me just to the portable mode and make a giant system of my console, go ahead and hit that dislike button. That's fine too. But if you want to stick around with me for that semi-long run, I do want to make as many of these mini reviews as humanly possible, and not just the reviews for Nintendo. For anything I can think of that'll hopefully not bore you as much, please hit that subscribe button as well. Other than that, thank you so much again for taking the time to watch this mini review, and I'll see you next time. Bye.